um, you know, I'm 52, and I always, I think there's, this the statement when you run into someone and they say, "Oh, you haven't changed." I think is insulting, right? It's like, I hope I've changed and evolved and grown and this and the other. But rewind with me when to the earliest age you can remember, where like you remember like, oh, I grew, I changed, and that felt great.
Mm. The earliest time. Wow. That's a really great question. I have a pretty big answer to that. And it's not a fun story, but it's a great story in the way that it ended, leading me to today.
Yeah.
And so actually, I was 20 something living in San Francisco. And I had really been, it was just when I started my personal work, or when I really started my personal work, but I was down in the bottom. And I was just ready to chuck it in, my body, everything. And at the time, I was heavily influenced by substances and alcohol, and masking the pain of what was really going on inside my body. And I literally decided to end my life at that time. And I was walking around the streets of San Francisco at night. I stepped in front of a bus.
Oh my God.
To end it. Yeah. Just to end my life. Saw the lights, everything. And then all of a sudden, I felt a pull on my shoulder, my right shoulder. And I feel it every time I talk about this. And it pulled me back to the sidewalk. And I looked around and nobody was there. And it was that moment that changed my life.
Wow.
Suicide is very serious. So I'm going to make a little bit of a joke, but I'm putting the caveat that does not mean suicide is a joke. I've had a lot of clients and my own personal work with this. So it's not a joke. It's a real serious mental health issue. But at that moment, I said what I called God or whatever. I just called it out. There must be something else for me because I can't even kill myself right. And that is when my entire world changed. And I dedicated my life to finding out and resolving what would get me or any person to the point of doing that to themselves and feeling like they had no other choice, even though that was a choice.
What was that pull? What was that? How do you, I know you defined it as, was it God? Was it this? What was that? Was it your guides? Was it your spirit guides? What was that, do you think?
Well, that's still, to this day, the short answer is all of that, John, honestly.